I've been talking for like a minute on mute, and I
Yep, and I couldn't unmute to let you know because I was backstage.
fucking excellent.
Awesome star.
Let me try that again. Welcome to Boropod. It's deadline day. It's shit. Hi, Pat.
But let's be fair, the start to this show was an exact mimic of Borough's start to the game against Bradford, whoever we played. Barnsley, wasn't it? I can't be racist against these northern towns. I'm
Northern monkeys. That's all that matters.
Anyway, how are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm all right. It's been a day. How are you?
Mm-hmm. Same. Yeah, well, I got here about a minute before we started, and that was because I didn't stop. Like, I had a piece of work that had to get done by close of business, but the guy setting me up to do my bit didn't finish his work till 5:20. So here we are.
Lovely.
Yeah, it's been
great
fun,
stuff.
man. So this is going to be the highlight of it, even though I'm going to mostly be grumbling about playing shit football and not signing anyone,
We do like to entertain here on Boropod, don't we? And let's bring in the entertainer of the crew.
The balance.
Hi, Nick. How are you?
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
Oh, it's another week where Nick is sad.
I've got digestives though, so it's okay.
Good stuff.
Yeah, are they proper digestives or are they cheap?
Oh yeah, I've gone for the McVitie's chocolate, full shebang, mate.
Yeah, I mean today is not a day that you cheap out and pay 45p for a packet of digestives from Morrison's, is it? You're going to pay £1.75 and get the proper packers. Absolutely.
Yep. It was a double pack as well from Tesco on club card price. So some of us have been doing some good deals today. That's all I'm saying.
Talking about good deals, shall we just have a quick run through transfer deadline? Well, the transfer window. I'm just going to go through and rattle off some of the signings that have been made around the league.
Oh, God, yes.
There's not really any... It's no good talking about AFC Wimbledon because they haven't signed anyone worth talking about. Barnsley have got Charlie Lennon on... not on loan. On a permanent deal from Middlesbrough.
Imagine.
Could be a good signing. Blackpool have signed about 27 people. Joe Randall on
loan. The arcades, it's cheating.
Michael Obafemi from Burnley might be a decent signing. Bailey Peacock, Pat Farrell, they had him in on loan at the beginning of the season. That's been made a permanent deal. Will Waters from Luton, who is a Hitchin lad, is in Blackpool now. I know where I'd rather be. Bolton have signed Corey Blackett-Taylor from Derby, Rob Apter from Charlton, Ruben Rodriguez from Victoria. And if that's the Ruben Rodriguez that was...
that is the Oxford Ruben Rodriguez,
recently,
yeah. That's
good signing for League One. I am not happy about that. Bradford, who cares? Louis Sibley from Oxford, Ethan Wheatley from Man United after Doncaster announced full-time that they had him in. That's funny. Burton, they're relegated basically, so never mind. Again, Cardiff are basically promoted, so it don't matter about them either. Doncaster's business is okay. Exeter have signed one player in on loan from Sunderland called Timur Tutorov and have got rid of no one. So at least
he scored against us.
At least we've had a little bit more happening, let's say. Huddersfield have got Nick Tanlev in from Newport on undisclosed. I mean, they're all undisclosed. I don't know why I'm saying that. We've also signed Ryan Hardy on loan from Wrexham. Orient. Are there any good players there?
They sold Omar Beckles.
Omar Beckles. Well, sold is a stretch. He went for free.
They got rid of.
Yeah, that's great news for their backline.
I was going to say advantage Warrior, to be honest. But
yeah. Lincoln, Alfie Lloyd on loan from QPR. Ryan 1 from Sheffield United. Luton, Emilio Lawrence from Man City. Casey Palmer from Hull. Devontae Cole from Port Vale. Okay.
They've made a couple today as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be good if this list that I've got here hasn't actually been updated today, wouldn't it?
So deadline day -1 signings.
Well, hang on. Let me just sign all. Let me just go down to Port Vale. It has been signed. It has been updated. They've got Andre Gray in. That's a very good signing. That's hideous. Peterborough have signed Jacob Bendy from Wrexham. They've lost Ryan de Havilland. I say lost. Reading have signed Will Keane. Ryan Nimbo, probably. Let's just bugger the rest off. Stevenage signed Harry Cornick, Jack Taylor, and Joe Knight. 2 players that, I mean, basically, Jack Taylor is this year's Lewis Freestone signing, and Joe Knight is this year's Harvey White signing. I would believe good players, maybe not ready for first team football.
Yeah, I'd argue they're probably Lewis Freestone and Harvey White -1 year.
Yes, potentially, yes.
Which, if you're looking safe in upper mid-table and you can get them for minimum 18 months, is not a terrible idea.
I would suspect after Docko's gone to Ipswich for a significant 6-figure fee, not a 6-figure fee, a significant 6-figure fee. So it's at least higher than 200,000. That perhaps Joe Knight might be a little more involved than perhaps he would have been.
Brought as much as Doherty. That's like 1 start and 7 minutes off the bench, which is apparently
Exactly.
enough.
They do the warm-ups before games.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jake Young has gone to St Mirren on a permanent deal. Matthias Roberts, he returned from Eastbourne, and he's gone back to Eastbourne. Jovan Malcolm is on loan at Barrow, and which are they still League 2?
Yeah, he's with Danny Rose.
Yeah, that's true. That's right. He's with Danny Rose. I'm surprised he went to League 2. I would have expected him to go to National League because he should find the net more there, and I would want him to. I want to put him in a good team in the National League where he's going to have an abundance of chances to give him that boost. I think struggling with a Barrow side that is a Barrow side is potentially not the one to give him the confidence.
Yeah, I mean, we got him from
Uber and sent him back to Sutton.
We got him from who are now bottom of the league, Gateshead in the
yeah.
National League. So you can kind of see if he spent 6 months with a League One side, you'd like to think he's better than National League now. He might not be.
Better than bottom of National League.
Better than bottom of National League.
You go and put him in one of the teams fighting for promotion. You would hope that there's an abundance of chances and an abundance of goals to come, rather than a Barrow side who are there.
Yeah. We'll see how he does, but
yeah, and obviously the big one we mentioned it already, but Ryan Doherty going to Ipswich.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he deserves a chance to go, and he would. I don't think there's any doubt that at this stage he's only 17. He probably will develop more in a setup like Ipswich have than sort of getting a handful of minutes with our first team, I think.
Yeah, I can't remember what Ipswich's setup is in terms of their youth.
Better than ours.
Pathway. It's definitely better than ours. It's because obviously he's 17. You probably say 18 months in their academy before they might start looking at loans out to League One.
Well, I would assume the rest of the year with their under 18s, maybe going straight into their under 21s, perhaps. they will have an under 21s, unlike us. He may go straight into the under 21s. He probably is ready for it. But he's still 17. It wouldn't surprise me if he spent 18 months now in their under 21s before then looking at loans, and you would probably assume that he will go to League 2 on loan before then League 1 on loan before he really breaks into the side, which I've no doubt that he's going to have the quality to do that in the near future.
Yeah.
Nearish future.
Like Ipswich are in the Premier League 2 for under
Yes.
21 side. So that's up against your United, Chelsea's, Arsenal's.
I think that's where he needs. I think that's where he needs to be to thrive.
Yeah.
He's got the technical ability to thrive at that level. I think so.
No.
So that'll be nice for him, won't it?
Transfer window grades.
Okay, so I'm going to give Stevenage a D.
I'm going F.
No, it's a D because although we haven't signed players in the two positions we really needed them, forward and left back, right now are the two most dire needs, I think, because we now don't have a left back. Well, I mean, early's concussion window, is that right? No, that's Pattenden. But
Early's back.
Oh, Early's back.
But we don't have a right back, assuming Luther is still out. And
Well,
we don't have another left back.
Luther will be back for the weekend.
Yeah, but we don't have another left back because Butler's out for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So we are short there.
Yeah, and we'll get to this later, but we really need Freestone for centre back. But I'm going to say I like the Cornick signing. I would have liked another forward to give us. I mean, honestly, in a similar kind of I think a similar profile to Reed, so that Reed has someone to directly compete with him and to push him, but also take some of the fucking slack that because he's basically been our forward line and our only threat for 4 years now. It's not fair, really, is it? Like we can be critical of him as much as we want, but the reality is he's not been given good enough of a chance to really make a good run of it because the support hasn't been there often enough. I'm not saying it's never been there. He scored how many goals in about 4 minutes a couple of years ago? Quite a few. So it's he's had some good positive runs, but we just haven't made them. We haven't made the most of firing Jamie Reed, and that sucks for him and us, obviously.
Yeah, I'm probably a bit harsher and probably sticking it in that E to F level, and the reason I say that is for one of the primary arguments during this run that we have been on for us to not panic is that we are on the cusp of the playoff spots. If our ambition genuinely is to compete for those playoff spots, you cannot end the January window in a position where you're short in primarily key positions in terms of how we play, left back. You could argue we're probably a little bit weak in centre mids. If you see Doco's now gone, I don't think Knight is going to be in a position to contribute off the bat. And we know that Phillips, Houghton's just come out from injury. Lewis Thomas picks up niggles here and there. Yes, that is his name. And so I look and I go, we're actually probably worse in squad depth than how we started the window. We've got less forwards. We've got rid of 2. We've brought in 1. And you could argue, yes, I like the Cornick signing. I think it's a very important player for us to bring in, both from an experience perspective, but also just from what he's shown in the few games he has been contributing in. Like, his physicality and his energy does bring something that we probably have lacked. However, fundamentally, our striker profiles are not deep enough to enable us to play this long ball way that we've been trying to play with Jamie Reid up front. So if we stop doing that and we start playing to the strength of our two strikers, then I'll sit back and go, we didn't need to sign another one. But on the way that we've been playing, it screamed that we needed someone taller, physical, better in the air than we've got. It screamed that we needed someone that wasn't Freestone at left back. And you can't necessarily rely on Saxon to play Saturday, Tuesdays.
Yeah.
And then realistically, you could argue that now with, well, Pattenden's out for 2 weeks. Luther obviously had his injury. We probably could have used with some sort of defensive profile that isn't just another centre back, that had a bit more of that flexibility in terms of how we could use them. I just look at our window doesn't scream of a team that wants to push into the playoffs.
Why do you think that is? Do you think we've been putting the feelers out all around the place and players are just going, nah? Or do you suspect that perhaps there are question marks enough, rightly or wrongly? I'm not trying to put any personal opinion on this at all. Do you think there are question marks enough about how long Revs is going to be here in the current situation that he's not been back? He's not been backed.
I mean,
but it's a question worth asking because we won 3 games in 3 times in 16, and yes, we had an excellent start to the season, but people were really upset with the season last year about how one-dimensional, boring, turgid, etc. the football was at times.
Have you seen how Wallace has run this club for the last 20 years?
I know.
Like, he doesn't listen to fans getting antsy after 3 losses in a row. Of course. He's got a long-term head on his shoulders.
We're only 2 points better off than we were this time last season. The table this season is far closer than it was then. I'm not saying at all, I'm not putting my hat into the Revs out market at all here. But is there any chance that there is a little bit of trepidation in the club behind the scenes to say, I don't know where we're going right now, and so I don't want to.
I think it's a risk averse approach. I mean, I don't doubt we had players on our list to target, and in some cases we have been blown out of the water by certain teams from a financial standing point.
I mean, we know that that's the case.
Undeniably, I'm sure there have been multiple cases of that. But then I look at some of the business that's been done today, especially, and you look at some of the players that teams ultimately in the relegation spots and just flirting outside them have done, that I wouldn't say have budgets any bigger than ours or equally are of any more sound financial standing than us to be able to blow us out the water in that respect with money. Now, that doesn't mean to say that we haven't set budgets at a certain strict limit that mean we can't offer that money because we don't want to offer that money. But the ambition piece is the one that fans are going to look at and go, the conversation this whole time, 3 in 18 league games we've won, like, we're on the cusp of the playoffs. We're in a bad run. Surely January is an opportunity to make some key changes to turn around your form, but also continue to be in that hunt for a playoff spot. Like it is a perfect opportunity to do that. And then you look at the business on paper, and it doesn't say we want to make the playoffs. It says, in my view, we're happy where we are. We know we're not going to go down, but we don't want to pump money into something that may not come to fruition, especially when you look at our form currently. So,
especially with the risk of loans can be seen as a cheap solution to a problem, but also if you get stuck in a situation like a Hadme, where we're paying his contract for the rest of the season, or it just doesn't work out, and you've taken on a wage that you didn't need to the end of the season because the players made absolutely no difference. it's
so
it's an easy one to sort of balk at and go, do you know what? Fuck it. I'm just not. We're just not going to sign them. We're okay where we are.
which is fine, but ultimately, I think that doesn't change whether a window is good or bad. I think you look at it, and ultimately, it's a bad window for us. No matter how much we've tried to do business and may have wanted to do business, the outcome has not been desirable.
Yes.
There's obvious things we
Overall,
needed that we didn't get. You're right.
yeah. And so I can't look at this window and kind of go, well, it's probably because of this and that, and kind of brush it off, because fundamentally it seems to be a common theme of our season of missed opportunities. Previously, it's been in games and results, and now it feels like something kind of almost off the field where we have had an opportunity in a position we're in to bolster the squad even further with extra money coming in, because the Doherty deal, I'm sure we would have had some understanding of that happening over the last week, really, or few days. So we knew that there was some money coming in. We probably have had some extra money put in the back pocket. We know Phil has put some extra money in over the last few months. There's been a lot of business being done in terms of commercially at the club that I'm sure has driven revenues up. And so I wouldn't be surprised if there was money available that we didn't previously have. And it looks like on the face value of it, we've not tried to use that to improve things on the pitch to the extent that I think we needed to in the current state of play.
Yeah. So, Pat, you balked, understandably so, at my suggestion that Revs wasn't backed in the window. What's your overall take on why things haven't gone the way us fans and probably the way Revs wanted them?
I mean, I think it makes sense that it's about prudence and thinking, all right, we don't have enough in the squad to get promoted this year. And if we do have enough in the squad to stay 14th or above, that's enough for the season. And rather than investing in, finishing 8th instead of finishing 14th, it doesn't really gain you a great deal. You save that and you wait and push on next summer. That makes sense as a long-term strategy. It's a risk. It's a risk that you get sucked into a relegation fight because you haven't got the extra stuff you needed and things really tank. And I look forward to Dan Sweeney playing right back as much as the next one. But then the flip side of it is if you invest in the wrong people and, you spunk a load of money on Andre Gray and get relegated anyway, and then you end up in the conference in debt in 2 years' time, that is an equally possible scenario. So,
that feels like a thinly veiled dig at Vale.
I mean, it's just a potential outcome of what they've done. It might spur them to a top half finish, and I'll be eating crow. But
they made space by offloading Devante Cole.
And let's be honest, a deal like that, if you're Andre Gray, it's one that allows you to leave at the end of the season.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, there was talk. It hasn't actually happened, but it might still happen. Of Luton getting someone like Oxlade-Chamberlain or Dele Alli was the names, and I was like, I wouldn't be surprised, because for players like that to get 6 months regular football, back in England probably is worth it. And I think it's a similar one. Andre Gray's been abroad for the last however long. He wants to get back into English football. He's got the opportunity to go to a team that needs some help. 6 months there, could score a few goals and then get a championship move again if we really wanted it.
Yeah, the shop window of Port Vale, I'm sure, very well.
Well,
at least Stoke will be looking.
Yeah, but it's never something we've done. We've never looked at players that probably are in that older category.
Sorry, what on earth was the signing of Craig McHale-Smith then?
that was for his conspiracy theories. That was
okay.
So, and also, how long ago was that?
Yeah, long time ago. Yeah.
That was the very desperate League Two days.
I saw him at Walsall miss the openest of goals I've ever seen a player miss from.
But
goalkeeper was in a different postcode, for fuck's sake.
I mean, we've clearly seen a shift in our model of, under Steve, it was experienced players that will see out 18 months.
Yeah.
Give you everything you needed, and then you'd move on again. And now we're in the model of, let's buy some nice young players, build for the future. and either sell for some money
resale value. Yeah.
or get some benefit out of them. Like, for example, Harvey could be off in the summer for free, but you'd argue
Very
over the
likely
last
now, isn't it?
yeah, but over the last 2 years, you'd probably argue we've got a fair value from what we paid. We didn't pay a huge amount.
Maybe not as much as we may have hoped, but
Yeah, but on balance, you've got a League One quality player for a year and a half from that deal, who tailored to play our way, and so you'd imagine Knight and Taylor are similar in that vein of buy them in, keep them around the group, mold them into how we want them to be, and then ultimately it's either we get benefit from them playing for us or like you say, we get resale value out of them. But that's never really been our model.
No. We've got a couple of questions that I want to field. Pat, I'll come to you on this one. Blinard1 says, it may just be a stupid, you can only do that on Football Manager move, but I'd like to see Roberts given a run up front. I think he's got the pace and creativity to cause problems at this level, even Phoenix too.
Yeah, but we've seen it before with Roberts in a more central frontman sort of role, and I wouldn't hate it either on his own or alongside Reed or Cornick. If you're going to switch the formation up a little bit, you're right. He's got the physicality to trouble centre backs more than any other forward player we've got at the moment, I guess. So yeah, why not try that? It's more likely to get you a goal than shoving Pidge or Sweeney up there.
Yeah, it's something I floated before. Like I've mentioned both of them as a possible sort of get out of jail free card, where if we switch to a system where we're not getting wingers in play so much, there might be an option to use them as auxiliary frontmen. My issue is that if the style of football we're playing isn't feeding into Jamie Reed's strengths, it's not going to feed really into either of their strengths. Because I think although Roberts may be more successful in holding the ball up than Jamie Reed, on the evidence, I'm not sure that he'll be that much better. I think he's got the physical attributes to do so. But if I think of him holding the ball up, I don't know how often he's very successful. His game is much better with ball into feet and on the go and sort of quick, snappy movement, or on the spin and getting in behind. We whack the ball up to our front man, or he overhit it down the channels. I don't think necessarily that putting either of those two centrally up front is going to solve much outside of maybe a one or two select games, perhaps.
And his stature on those crossfields is important as well. You'd lose that.
Yeah.
Roberts wins a lot of flick-ons more than anything, and if you're going to win flick-ons, you need someone that's going to be gambling in behind to get on the end of it, and almost you want Roberts to be doing both. In that scenario.
That's why I'd do it in a two if I was going to do it.
Yeah.
If you want him alongside a Reed or a Cornick in that case.
Fuck it, let's put Roberts and Phoenix up top together.
Well,
I mean, it screams. We don't care about the result, but I think it would be quite fun to watch.
I think it screams we're absolutely desperate to try anything now because nothing's worked, and I think that's what you enter dangerous territory when you start talking about using players out of position in the hope that you get something different from it. Because last season, our biggest kind of gripe with Revs was playing players out of position, and it's creeped in a bit recently where we've done very similar, whether it be Labala out wide as a winger, whether
Labala
it be
has a position.
Where Dan Phillips being used as a 10 when he's primarily an 8, or using Kemp as a right winger. We've used Roberts up front for the last couple of games now. And we're starting to see what feels like desperation again, to just be trying to do something different in the hope that you get a slightly different result. But fundamentally, we always lose something by putting Roberts in a position that isn't his best. And Roberts is one that has always been the sacrificial lamb in the sense of he's a number 10. His best position is in the 10. But quite frankly, you put him anywhere on that pitch, in most places he'll do a job for you, and you can't say the same for most other players in the squad. And it actually comes to his detriment because it means that he never plays in his best position. You never see the best of him.
I don't know what Robert's best position is these days.
100% down the middle in the 10. 100%. I'd put so much money on you put him there, and he will get 10 goals, 10 assists in a season. I'd put so much money on it because Roberts is a chaotic player, and so you need to give him as much space to be chaotic in as possible. You stick him out wide, he's only got one way to really go. If it's not down the line, it's inside. Like, he needs that piece, and we see it from Kemp. That's why Kemp's so good in the middle, because he needs the different angles to be running into space from the left to the right, getting in between players, being between the lines. Like, they're both very similar in that vein. But just Kemp isn't.
So in that scenario, then Kemp's role becomes you come on when Roberts gets booked and disappears. That's your job now.
Kemp's going to be coming on in the 19th minute more often than any other player.
It will vary a lot, but that's fine. That's fine.
But
okay, so I'm going to move it on because of time. Another question from Silver Black. What exactly is our ambition? To remain League One team long term or to push for more? With the lack of a decent sized ground and crap support, can we even expect any more? And I'm going to caveat a little bit with something that Blinard has said as well, is that he thinks that the priority for management and the board is playoffs plus promotion. Although he thinks the transfer strategy is screaming prioritise mid-long-term building and stability over what would be a car crash season in the Championship.
Yeah, absolutely.
A car crash championship. A car crash. I don't know that you could say us finishing rock bottom on record low points is a car crash of a season.
I have a great time
because we've made it to the Championship, and that is fucking outrageous for a team that has never had. Well, you know, maybe Newcastle being a massive outlier, but has never had an attendance over 8,500 in their history. That's outrageous.
But who says it'd be? Who says it'd be a car crash? Who says we wouldn't be?
I think we'd have a fucking great time.
But I think equally, we've seen teams go up to the Championship that we've all gone, yeah, they're just going to come straight back down, and they haven't. It only takes a Sheffield Wednesday to go bust, and then you only have to.
Come on, man! Don't give me those praise. Jesus.
Come on, you know we have Sheffield native Patrick Jackson on the panel.
But something's working in your favour.
I saw Barry Bannon play for Millwall this weekend. I'm a baby cry. I don't need this shit.
But it's one less team to compete with when you're in the Championship, and the way that the Championship is going, I'm not surprised if there'll be another 2 or 3 clubs over the next 10 years that go the same way.
My only concern would be that we do sort of revel in being the little club that turns up and ruins people's days. I worry that the gap between League One and the Championship is so enormous we wouldn't even be able to enjoy that because it would be that bleak.
If we ruin one Championship side's day in a whole season, I'm happy.
You know it would be relegated West Ham that we ruin, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the danger is you do Yeovil, right? And no one wants that on.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that is the concern. That you know, whenever we've spoken about this, Yeovil get brought up as the example of what not to do. You would hope we aim it more down the Wickham, Burton, Albion kind of line, don't you? Where they go up, have a great time, come back down, oh well, kind of thing.
Wickham weren't that bad. Like, they were bad in the Championship. They weren't that bad. They weren't bad enough that you. No,
they had some good. Yeah, they had some good days. Look, we're gonna gloss over the last couple of games because it's not why we're here. So Stevenage won, Peterborough 0. Really enjoyed ruining their little ditty down the line, down the A1, to come and watch football terrorists Stevenage. Played, you know. It sounds bizarre suggesting that we played them off the park when they had 64% possession. But honestly, they had 5 shots and not a single one of them I ever felt, oh God. For all that possession they had, they were shite.
Yeah.
Utter shite.
Got in a half time thinking, they're really dangerous on the counter here. They've got some really fast, skillful players coming forwards. But we've controlled possession for the most part, even if we haven't created that much. And then second half, they created plenty. We didn't score enough, but they created more in that one game than they did in the previous two. So although, you score a goal and think, oh, maybe they're a little bit lucky to get 3 from this one, and maybe they were, but that doesn't mean it wasn't a vastly superior performance to the previous 2 draws, which could equally have been losses. Like, I think it was a game in which gave me a bit more faith in the ability of the team to stay in that top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we'd have recorded after Peterborough before Barnsley, I probably would be a lot more positive than I am.
Joyous
post
scenes.
Barnsley. But yeah, it felt like what we'd been waiting for, what we've been asking for, of actually looking at a team at home and going, yeah, we're just going to go for it. We're going to play front-footed football. We're going to be aggressive. We're going to press high effectively, not just pressing for the sake of pressing, but pressing effectively and acknowledging where a team's weaknesses are and taking advantage of that.
I thought Roberts was excellent. White was excellent. Pidge's best game of the season. Sweeney was excellent. Pattenden was excellent. I the other day when Pattenden played his first game in a while in place of Luther, I can't remember who it was against. I think he got man of the match, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I thought he was just
Bolton.
average. And I think Nick, he came to his defence, said he was pretty good. I was like, bollocks, he was rubbish. He was excellent against Peterborough. Really, really superb. And I think he did a real job on Lisby, who, fell over more times than he touched the ball.
Yeah, 3 guys in the first half.
Diving, cheat, and prick. He should have been sent off by the time he got that second yellow. Arsehole.
But so coming out of that game, I thought, great, like we've turned a bit of a corner in terms of actually playing to our strengths against a team who have shown obvious weaknesses. I mean, their defense was absolutely shot, to be honest. They had a 18-year-old at centre back and ended the game with 4 fullbacks as their back 4. So we took advantage of a good situation. Maybe the game's different if they've got their 2 main centre backs available, but ultimately that's not what we played against. So don't give a shit. And so
that's the spirit.
And so you look at that and go, right, cool. We've got a win. We've turned this poor form around. We're going to go to Barnsley. We're gonna continue this positive trajectory and put in a really good performance.
So I'm not laughing at that. I've just seen your tweet. Come join us. Come join us on the pods. Got a mouthful of biscuits.
Yeah. For the 205 or 250, I can't remember what number it was, fans that went to Barnsley, I thought maybe we'd go and put on a bit of a show against Barnsley, but alas, I think I think I put it in the chat probably about 15 minutes in, and I genuinely thought it was worse than how we started against Exeter.
Yeah. That'll do on the Barnsley chat, I think. I don't think, really, after a defeat like that, I think it's natural for us to want to sit here and unpick it and go into great detail about what went wrong. We saw what went wrong. Everybody played shit.
Too many mistakes at both ends, and they capitalised on 2 mistakes that gave them cheap goals. If you do that away from home, it's always going to be difficult to get any points, especially if you then go on to miss your chances in the second half. I think 3-1 flattered them a little bit, but
I'll be honest, I don't think it did.
They could have been 3 or 4 up at half time.
I think the biggest frustration from fans that were there and from what I saw online after was that change when Pattenden went off injured to change the system. And quite frankly, I think it put us on the back foot. You could tell the players had no idea what we were meant to be doing in this system again.
Was there any reason to change the shape? Could you not have just put Phoenix?
There was no reason, really.
Phoenix over on the right wing back.
I mean, there was multiple things where you look at it and go, right, he's ultimately done it to put Freestone as a right back. But when you look at what you have to do to get to that stage, it creates so much more chaos
Just seems
than
insane. Yeah, it seems
than what it would have
insane.
been to just go and put Phoenix as a right wing back, which is
Um,
how we ended the game, by the way. So it wasn't that we
Yeah.
thought it was a terrible idea, because we actually did it in the end. And that's the bit that confused me the most about the whole thing. Was we had a game plan and a system. We went out for 5 minutes and did it, and threw it all in the bin after Pattenden got injured, only to revert back to
Yeah.
it 15 minutes to go. And then we played
Yeah.
the best period of the game in that system.
It does. I don't want to be again. I don't want to be overly critical. Every team has a game where inexplicably everything you do goes wrong. The changes just seem like a massive overreaction to the situation, I think. And I don't know that the response was proportional to the injury. Well, my favourite thing to come out of it is that in Neil Metcalf's post-match player ratings, Jasper Pattenden got the highest rating after playing for 6 minutes and lying down for 4 more.
He done all right in the 6 minutes he played.
But it's damning.
I mean,
isn't it?
I looked at. I mean, we had Chem in the 10 for the last 15 minutes, who actually did quite well. I thought Bez and Cornick
Chem in
up
the
front.
10.
Bez and Cornick up front actually wasn't bad. Like, there was a lot of energy, there was a lot of physicality, and that did cause Barnsley some problems. And that's me praising Bez, by the way. And so there were some things where I looked at him when this isn't terrible. Like, there are things here that we're clearly a bit showing in this system that we could have been doing for the last 75 minutes, but instead we chose to throw it all in the bin for the sake of putting a left centre back or right back in a system that we hadn't played for 2 games.
Yeah.
But you've got 9 days to put it right and come back and think, okay, so we embarrassed ourselves away. Let's try and prove that we're better than that at home, which is what people need to see, I think, at this point.
And they've not got Keeler done anymore, so...
Yeah.
I mean,
we're in next week.
Yeah, we're in a really nice position where we have a really good opportunity to right that wrong. You know, we don't. Obviously, of course, we want to win that game. We don't have to win that game, but we have to give them a game. Crucially, that it's so important that we take the game to them. Luton, a short while ago, announced a signing from Feyenoord called Davy van den Berg. And if you play Football Manager, you might be familiar with him. I don't like it. Although we played them twice, so I don't care either.
Yeah.
Should we do a quiz?
Oh,
Sure.
Yeah. We're going to have ourselves a little game of how's that? It's the cricket game again. So, let me take you back through the rules because
thank you.
People, get confused by my quizzes. Not that this is my concept at all. Each of you will have a single innings to rack up as many points as possible. You each get 2 wickets. You basically will bowl against each other. There's not 3 of you this time, so it's head-to-head, both games. To remind you of the points and how you score runs. Each innings consists of a single question with multiple correct answers. The first correct answer will get you 1 run. The second correct answer will get you 2 runs. The third will get you 4 runs. And the 4th, 5th, and 6th answers will get you 6 runs apiece. If you both get the question right and the answers are different, the batter gets the runs. If both get the question right and the answers are the same, the batter has been caught and you lose a wicket. If the bowler gets a question wrong and the batter gets it right, it's a no ball and the batter will get the correct points, the points for that question and an additional point. And if the batter gets the question wrong and the bowler gets it right, that means you've been clean bowled and you lose a wicket. Do you understand the rules?
So, yes, sir.
Aye.
You know them enough. So, question 1. Nick,
So
you're bowling.
Do I have a nice question this time?
Pat is at the wicket. You're going to love your question. But Patrick, we're looking for players with league appearances in the 22-23 season.
Wait, who's bowling? I'm bowling.
You're bowling. Pat is
Okay.
at the crease.
Okay.
So remember, you both, I'll give you 10 seconds of thinking time, and then you reveal your answers more or less together. So, Pat, I must say, your feed is looking crystal clear, and your upload rate is the same as ours. Have you, by chance, upgraded internet or fixed your router?
Literally nothing different to any other week.
Excellent. Well, whatever it is you are
The
doing,
hamsters are running quicker.
Yeah,
Damn right.
your feed's not as good, Nick, I must say. But
What?
anyway, it's by the by. Let's go. So, question 1 for a single run. 3, 2, 1.
Danny Rose.
Terence Van Kooten.
We've got Danny Rose, and we've got TVC. I can't put Terence. I can't put TVC because his name isn't actually that. There we go. You scored 1 run. Danny Rose got 43 appearances in total that season. TVC only 27.
Got injured, didn't he?
Get a big injury.
Mm.
So 10 seconds starts now. Again, it's not really going to be a full 10 seconds.
Fee for 10 seconds.
3, 2, 1.
Alex Gilby.
Alex Gilby and who?
Max Clark.
Max Clark. I heard
That's what I had.
So good. Again, you score the points there. 2 runs for Patrick. 39 and 38 appearances apiece. Gilby getting 1 extra. 10 seconds starts now. Three, 2, 1.
Jake Reeves.
Jordan Roberts.
Jake Reeves, 41 appearances. Jordan Roberts, 42 appearances. Patrick, you get your first boundary.
Woo!
10 seconds starts now.
Get into the head of Pat.
I wouldn't. It's a shit. I wouldn't.
3, 2, 1.
Jake Reeves.
Elliot List.
You've already said Jake Reeves, you knobhead.
I was going to say Jake Taylor. Sorry, I got the Jakes. That was me trying to get into Pat's head. I left my own.
Do you know what? Elliot List is a great answer for this question because he has 1 appearance because he got injured away at Tranmere on the opening day of the season. And you get 6
lucky.
And you get 6 points for it.
He missed an absolute sitter this week as well. It was hilarious.
And
tragic.
He did. I saw a tweet saying people from a Northampton fan saying, people say we're a serious club, but we're somehow still employing Nolan and List.
I'll take Nolan. It's all good, mate.
Because Nick
bowled
a no ball, Pat gets the extra point. So that was actually worth tasty. 7 runs.
I'm not getting into Pat's head anymore.
I'm not getting Pat's head anymore. Excellent. Right, 5th ball. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1.
Cole Piergianni.
Ashby Hammond.
He was good. I switched. I was like, he's not going to say Tay. His name's too long.
That follows. Kid's got 46 appearances and Tay 26 because obviously he went out with an injury. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1.
Michael Bostwick.
Quick. Oh no!
We've got a wicket!
Come on.
That's excellent. Oh boy. So I mean, Pat, look, you scored a very respectable 20 for 1.
Oh,
That's great. And if you can keep Nick, I mean keep Nick to a certain extent. If you can somehow stop Nick from scoring more runs than you, and you can bowl him, you're having a great time. So
is the question different now?
Question's different, yeah.
Okay, I was really weighing up there between Daryl Horgan and Michael Bostwick, and they felt
The guy
like
I completely forgotten existed, or Michael Bostwick. You chose the right one.
I was like, he's either going to choose the cult hero or the guy that no one remembers. I went with the cult hero.
I remember him. Couldn't stand seeing him on our fucking football pitch. Okay, so the second question. The second over, let's call it. We are looking for players that Stevenage have signed in a January transfer window since the 15-16 season.
This is taking the piss.
There are a fuck ton, you gimp.
Shut up. But I've got to try and remember things from far back. And
look, we signed a massive 23 players in January 2016 compared to just 2 players in the 24-25 season. How does a team sign 23 players in January? It's insane.
Good vibes.
Good vibes. That was the Sheringham season.
Yes. Amazing.
So, Patrick, you were bowling. Nick, you are at the crease. Pat, what sort of bowler are you?
Slow right arm, really.
Okay. What are you, Nick? Did you play?
3 steps, tried to finger spin it, never succeeded in spinning it much.
Yeah, I, on the other hand, was the one that I was like, I'm going to run really fast and throw it really hard.
And it just went up in the air.
Yeah. I was a batter. I was not a bowler.
Fair.
I was a scorer. I was not a bowler.
Okay. So, first question. Go 10 seconds. First ball, I should say. 3, 2, 1.
Ben Falami.
Jake Young.
Jake Young was not a January signing.
Yes.
Yeah, I've no clue. This is going to be a lot of extras.
Ben Falami, 1920 season, signed from Ipswich on loan.
Thank you.
Second ball, 10 seconds.
Do they have to have made an appearance for us?
No, doesn't matter.
Okay, thank you.
3, 2, 1.
Jamal Hector Ingram.
Like what? He was on the chase.
Jamal Hector Ingram has got an H somewhere daft in his name. And that is another one, Patrick, that signed for us in the summer and not in January.
Yeah, I told you I didn't know any. I wasn't lying.
Signed 2020-2021 season from Derby, again on loan. Ball 3. Three, 2, 1.
Jack Taylor.
Harrison Neal. Oh, Jack Taylor, the one we said like yesterday. I knew that one.
It's another white. Jack Taylor, obviously, this season on permanent deal from Sutton United. Harrison Neal was a summer signing that was recalled in order to be sold to Carlisle in the January window, similar to Saxon Early, same sort of shindig. Okay, ball 4. Three, 2, 1.
Harvey White.
Reece Hannum.
Now, I don't have Reece Hannum on my list. You might be right. And who did you say?
God, I hope so.
I said Harvey White.
That is a wicket. Harvey White was a summer signing.
Oh, was he? I thought we bought him in January and then just didn't
Nope.
use him for ages.
No, it was deadline day. He basically wasn't used for the entire season. I'm just checking on Hanam. No, preseason.
Not.
I didn't write a scenario in which both of you get the question wrong. So what I'll do is, Nick, you lose a wicket, but you get a run.
Okay.
Fifth ball.
That's good cross.
Yeah, fifth ball. 10 seconds starts now.
Oh Christ, I'm running out.
3, 2, 1.
Jocko Anderson.
Now, Patrick, I know for sure that is a spectacular answer. And did you say fuck nose, Nick?
Yeah.
I don't remember him. Was he Finnish?
Well, I'm afraid that is you bowled. So that's the game over. Great answer, Pat. Signing on for us on loan 22-23 season from Reading. So that would put the points at. My formula isn't adding it up for Nick. Hang on.
Oh, just make it
too many points. Nick broke.
Just make it 21. Just make it 21. It's fine.
11. No, unfortunately, Nick, you are out. 11.
11?
All out. Yeah. 2 points.
Do you want to ruin me?
2 points. 2 points for the first ball because
it's
Pat went wide.
Fucked up the last balls. That's
why. 3 points for the second ball because Pat went wide.
I like this game.
5 points for the third ball because you got the 4, and Pat went wide.
Jamal Hector Ingram was a 6 answer. Do you know what I mean?
Then you 6 certainly.
Then you got 1 for your first wicket, but you did lose your second wicket immediately.
I was going to say Carl Edwards as well, but I panicked. I couldn't remember.
You should have said Carl Edwards. That was a great. That would have been a great shout, and it would have been worth 6 points.
I panicked because of his injury. I was like, but did we sign him like in the summer and then not see him for 3 months or something? Or
It's as likely, isn't it?
That's what I mean. So anyway,
it is as likely. But there you go. So Patrick, have some music. I don't know if either of you listened back to the episode with How's That One on it, but I played the old cricket music from the BBC coverage.
Nice.
I didn't.
So that'll go into this edit.
You did forget to do something at the start of this pod.
I forgot to do something
that you forgot to do last episode as well. And you said you were going to do it this episode, and you still didn't do it.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, no, you are right. I completely forgot about that. Shall I find it now? Remove Pat to the backstage and then just do it now in the middle of the pod.
It would be better if you did it on mute, so the first thing they heard was a glass.
Yeah, because we could do a new segment and we'll call it Pat's Preview. So we'll send it away. We'll do that, and then we'll open Pat's Preview.
All right. I'll tell you what. Sorry for everybody watching on YouTube. This will make much more sense next week. I'm going to make a mental note. 59 minutes and 45 seconds. Pat, give us your preview for Stevenage away trip to Northampton this coming Saturday.
Stevenage away to Northampton. For some reason, kicking off at 1 minute past 3. I don't know what's going on there. It upsets me, but we'll live with it. It doesn't upset me as much as travelling to Northampton, which has historically been a bit of a bogey trip for Stevenage. But if there's ever a time to play them, it's when they're second bottom of the league and coming off 4 losses on the spin. Like, we need a bounce back after the trouncing at Barnsley. Is that too harsh a word? I don't think that's too harsh a word.
No.
And yeah, you're not going to get a better time to do it short of having them at your own place, I suppose. So fingers crossed and good luck to everyone making the trek. Set off 1 minute later if you want, I guess.
Do you know what, Pat? For someone who was given about 9 seconds preparation time for that. You did extremely well. So let's have a look at Northampton's run of games. So they beat in the PJT. I like that it's still called the Papa John's Trophy on who scored. They beat Walsall 4-2, and then in the league ever since 2-1 defeat at home against Wickham, a 2-0 loss on the road at Blackpool, followed by a 2-1 loss at Rotherham, and then another 2-goal loss at home against Reading. And then they have happy, lovely, attacking, beautiful football Stevenage visiting this Saturday. Northampton, their style of play. Most of their goals come from set pieces.
Where have I heard that before?
They pump the ball down the wings and then put a ton of crosses into the box.
The lowest scorers in League One.
The lowest scorers in League One. They don't like playing football in their own half. They only play it in the final third. They're not particularly aggressive. They're bad at defending set pieces. Bad at defending through balls. They don't have a lot of possession, which is traditionally bad for Stevenage. We like other teams to have the ball.
Yeah.
They lose the aerial duel almost exclusively, and they are particularly susceptible to the counter-attack. So what we're learning is what we're learning here is that it's two bad teams with the ball about to play each other.
Yeah.
Don't make mistakes back there. That's the key thing then.
That is the key. That is the key thing. Don't do what you did against Barnsley.
I know we say we are notoriously not very good against Northampton. We haven't actually lost to Northampton since October 2022.
No, we've had, and that was that mad 3-2 game.
It was.
That's the one where TVC gave away a penalty in the first 21 seconds. Yeah,
I was in the north for that.
And then Danny Hilton came on with 12 minutes to go, fouled our forwards, fouled defenders 8 times and got sent off.
Yep.
Yeah.
He compressed Dan Phillips' match into 12 minutes.
Yeah, I was Dan Phillips, if anything, Dan Phillips compresses or extends a Danny Hilton performance. Danny Hilton's been doing that since Dan Phillips still had a dummy.
He loves a dummy. I've seen him dummy a lot.
I mean, sucking on a dummy, but no. We've had a better run of things, but traditionally we are fucking rubbish at their place.
I mean, my worst ever away day was at Northampton away on a Tuesday night when I think we lost 3-0. It was in that
2021.
The Prime Gaming blue and luminous yellow. Yeah, that kit.
Yeah, I remember that game because I nearly went.
I went to it and they stuck us in the half-built stand that is now built, with the wind and the rain blowing straight into us.
Yeah.
And we lost 3-0.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the last time I went to Northampton, we lost there on New Year's Day in 2020. So we lost 1-0. If I remember, it was an Andy Williams goal in the 94th or 5th minute. And we had been rubbish for 94 minutes. But I was delighted because we were going to pinch a point. And then they scored at the death. And I got angry. I threw my tea on the floor and I left.
Can't even shithouse properly. What is this?
Yeah, that is exact. I may have said that exact sentence. It certainly felt like it, and I was really pissed off because I think I had to go to Nando's with the people that I was with, and I was pissed off. So it just wasn't a good day.
Well, I have not seen us win away since what game did I say? March. Yeah, well, in the league. It would have been March last year.
So please don't go.
I'm going.
Oh. But you also have missed away wins, right? You didn't go to Stockport.
Oh yeah. So it was Cambridge away was the last time I went to an away game that we won.
It's probably the last away game I went to that we won, and that was 2020.
So I wasn't at Stockport. I wasn't at Peterborough. I wasn't at Orient. I wasn't at Port Vale. I wasn't at Blackpool. So all of our wins away I've not been at, and all the away games I have been at, we've not won. In fact, I think we've lost all of them. Barnsley, Exeter, Cardiff. Wigan we drew. Yeah. So this would be fun.
Yeah, obviously my memory stops about 2021 because it's gone 23 draw, 21 loss, 20 loss, 20 again because one of them was a cup loss, 18 draw, 15 loss, 14 loss, and so on. So it's ropey.
Yeah, ropey's fair.
But we're better now, and they're second bottom. So
we are better now, and then
we quite frankly do have to win this game, though. In all seriousness, like we can't not win this.
If you don't win this game, I don't.
Is he going to say it? Is he going to say
it? I don't feel comfortable saying. I really don't feel comfortable saying it because I don't think it's the solution. But if you can't beat Northampton even away from home at this stage, perhaps questions should be asked. I'm not saying
questions are already being asked.
Questions are being asked, and I don't know how I feel about that. I'm still not sure. Because it is a diabolically bad run of form, and people are right when they say managers have rightfully been sacked for better form. They have. But also, I really, really, really don't feel comfortable with abandoning what is clearly a project so early in the project.
Is it early in the project though? Like,
yeah.
You've given him one 5 game removed from a good win against Peterborough.
Right,
so
exactly.
Chill the fuck out.
Exactly. As bad as this run of form has been, Stockport was superb. Peterborough away was very good. Cardiff away was good. Peterborough at home was very good.
Yeah, I mean,
there are signs that there is still life in this old dog.
I don't do wrong. I just at the moment I still have massive reservations because there are some really fundamental things that we're getting wrong, and I don't think they're fundamental things that you should be getting wrong when you've been in charge of over 150 odd EFL matches.
Yeah.
And that's my biggest concern. Is I think I completely agree that there is good performances in that squad / management team, and that there is a good idea there, but that will only get you so far in games, and you're never going to compete for those upper echelon places if you're getting very fundamental things wrong consistently. And that's what I'm looking at in terms of the next 5-10 games to the end of the season is, like, does that change? Are we still going to run with the same issues that we had last year that have creeped back in? Or are we going to demonstrate that we have lived, learned, and adapted to our errors? Because so far, I don't think we've seen enough of that, both from the original spell back in 20, whatever it was, where admittedly the squad was crap, to a point that we are in now, where we're off the back of a solidified league position last year, started really well this year, and then have crept into old habits again.
Yeah.
And if they
Although
keep
we
lingering,
and we do have 2 games in hand on 6,
Yeah.
we could get back into the playoff spots on merit if we win those 2 games.
we could also go the other way.
It's not like we're 22nd.
No, and I don't think it's we need to get rid of ASAP thing.
If the reality is, if we finish 16th, which is a place below last season, but we finish with 2, 3, 4, 5 points more, is that a failure, or is that actually progression? It's just this season has been way tougher.
But I don't think that But I don't think the season has been tougher. I wouldn't say
Fuck
this
off.
season's been tougher.
Fuck off! It's way more competitive.
I don't. Being competitive and it being tougher, I think, are two different things. If you think of where we could/should be, we should be in the top 4 based on missed opportunities that we've not taken. So realistically, for us, this has been a easier season to pick up points in games that we ordinarily would have looked at and gone, you're not going to beat Plymouth. You're not going to beat. Who else is there? You're not going to take points off of Cardiff. Do you know what I mean? Like, you would look at some of those teams where we've dropped points against and we've gone, probably should have won that game. Ordinarily, we wouldn't have said we could beat those teams. And really, we should be higher. I think we could all acknowledge that actually we probably should be another 6, at least 6, if not 10 points higher in our tally than what we are because of missed opportunities or how we've made mistakes in games. So I don't think the league is tougher in the sense of for all competing. If you go on a bad run, it can really kill your season. But on the flip side, it's an opportunity for teams that ordinarily wouldn't be up there to have an opportunity. Lincoln, prime example. So if we finish 16th, 5 points ahead of where we were last season, having started how we did and having the amount of opportunities we've had to stay in and amongst the top 6, I would see that as a very, very disappointing end to the season. Because for that to happen, we genuinely would need to win 2 or 3 games of the next however many we've got left. And not really pick up points anywhere else. And that, I think, is disastrous when you think of where we are sitting at the moment. So completely agree that you don't want to make a decision when you're so close to getting into a playoff spot with games in hand. But ultimately, if you can't win games, it doesn't matter how many games in hand you have because you're not picking up any points from them. And you can easily fall the other way. So I'm not saying if we lose to Northampton that you have to bite the bullet there, but there has to be a point where you look at it and go, and there's some fundamental issues in how we're approaching games or how we're training or how we're managing situations that make it difficult to see where the next win is coming or the next good run of form. That's the assessment, because if you can't see that coming, then there's no point looking up because you're not demonstrating anything that suggests you can get up there.
Yeah. I mean, Revs is what? 3 years into his managerial career, which could last another 30. So God forbid a man develops and learns in his job during the first 10% of his career. I mean, come on.
I mean, sure, but I think there also is a benefit to experiences outside of one club. And that may be actually the situation we find ourselves in. And I'm not saying it will be the situation where we stagnate as a club under the same management and the same similar style of play or whatever you want to call it. And actually, for both parties, it's a benefit to have something different, both for his development and for our development as a club.
It may get to that point. I think we need to. I think there's definitely something to be said for looking at the example like Lincoln have been setting this season, where this time 2 seasons ago they were playing at a really high level. Then last season they had a massive dip off from that. They had a season of really inconsistent football. The football was turgid at times. It was quite dull. And now look at them this season.
But I think Skubala showed elements of his management that suggested that it, like for example, they were lacking a striker massively last season as we were, and they went and signed James Collins in the January, and then they took off again. And so you could see where almost us sitting in the position we are now at the end of a January window, going, we could really do with that player, to bring this all together. Now that's not Rev's fault if we can't get that player. Like fundamentally, it's not. But that's that. If we're going to compare ourselves to the Wickhams or the Lincolns that have had that example of sticking with a manager for 2 years, 3 years, and then it coming to fruition, you've got to have all the ingredients around that manager to enable that to happen. And that is things like when you're in a period like this, you trust them in an investment of a certain caliber of player that might cost you a lot of money, that might be a risk, but could also be the key element to turning that team's fortune around. And I think that's equally the the frustration in a January window where we doesn't look like we've done that, because it probably isn't going to help Ravel in the short term to have a bit of an impact that turns our fortunes around and stops all the talk about whether he's the right person to be in charge or whether we're ever going to turn this form around and challenge for playoffs, because we haven't really created anything new to help that along.
I don't know who we magically think is out there who would take the same or less money than Revs and get us higher than 8th. I don't think this person exists.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of managers that will use the squad differently. Whether that gets you better results is very difficult to necessarily be able to judge. But I think there are managers that will use the squad differently, and that's what people are interested in seeing, because there are people that don't think we're using the squad effectively now. That's the bit I think that is why people are looking for change, because they don't agree with how the squad is being used, not necessarily with the squad being bad. Otherwise, you talk about we need different players.
Yeah, there's definitely an argument for why didn't we get the most out of the fellow who just went to St Mirren?
Jake Young.
Why am I blanking on names? That's the guy. Too many Jakes. That's the problem. Apare scored a brace this weekend. Why couldn't we unlock that and that sort of stuff? So yeah, there's an element of that.
Football's a gamble, isn't it? Like, managers get sacked all over the place, get replaced, and half the time they improve, half the time they get worse. Like, it is a gamble at the end of the day in terms of finding the right person. We know Wallace has always trusted people that he's got to know and feels like he understands, and so he's never going to make any rash decisions in a circumstance like this. And as you say, he's a long-term thinker. He's not a short-term reactor.
And that's what the club needs, right? Because we're not financially big enough to get established in the Championship yet, realistically. We're all expecting if that happened, we'd be coming straight back down, having got pretty pumped. So what you want then is stability to establish longer term in League One and not be yo-yoing about and dumping managers every 10 minutes. Having a Revel in there for 5-10 years, it keeps you around 10th or 14th. That's fine. That allows you to build the rest of the club around to take that next step. You can't do that in the short term.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just don't think you can sacrifice having entertaining football for it.
Oh boy, you definitely can.
Well, you can, but it's not. I don't think you get the success around the club without creating something on the pitch.
The reality is that you can continue to build whilst the football is for 10 years. You absolutely can.
To an extent.
Look! It's a bit of a mad and dated example, but look at fucking Exeter with Dario Gradi in there. Sorry, Crewe with Dario Gradi in there for fucking however 25 years or however long he was there. They were nowhere, nothing until he came in. Slow, consistent, permanent growth. And look at the academy that came out of the back of it. And all
they are now fucked though.
They are, but that's got nothing to do with that because Dario Gradi left about 15 years ago.
But I think, again, when we talk about the size of our club, what is really important for that, if you want to grow, is being able to generate outside of the ground, because we don't get that many in the ground. And actually, the ground's so small that you even if you filled that out, you'd still need to be doing a lot more. To do that, you need something that's going to entice people to want to be involved in the club.
There's nothing there that draws punters.
No, so you need something to draw to fill the stadium, and fundamentally, that's on the pitch. That is, and so you need a product that you can sell to generate that support that allows you to grow as a club. Otherwise, that level of stagnation where you sit in 10th, 12th, 14th doesn't get you anywhere, because you have the same level of revenue, you have the same fan base size, you can only sign a certain caliber of player, and you will see Northampton are probably a good example of a team that have been very similar of being pretty stagnant, and then they start to drop and they become a yo-yo side. They're reasonably well run as a club. They're not in any real sticking financial problems. They're also not flying up the other end, but they've become a bit of a yo-yo club. They'll spend 2-3 years, go down, couple of years back up. And
Yeah.
if we're saying we want to be growing to be a sustained League One side, you have to grow with how the league is growing. And to do that, we do need to see that step up every year in terms of our playing squad and our ambition and our ability to put entertaining football onto a pitch, because otherwise we will start to see that drop back down.
Yeah, if you're not improving, you're getting worse. That's a mantra that really does happen in football. Well, sport anyway.
And that is the real risk that we could have if we are too complacent fundamentally with what we.
You're right. Complacency is very dangerous in terms of we could become a Northampton, or again we've used it a couple of times, but a Yeovil if we're not careful. But by the same measure, 10 years of floating around mid-table, a couple of years where we flirt with playoffs, a couple of years where perhaps we only just avoid a relegation fight. Like, it's not exhilarating. It's not going to be always exhilarating. It's going to be concerning. It's going to be sort of miserable at times. But I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. I think you sort of, as a club, to grow and to kind of consistent year-on-year growth where you get better. These mantras of get 1% better every single game or every day or whatever. Like, it's unrealistic. It's never going to be a steady, gentle incline, is it?
No.
You're going to go flying. You're going to have a dip. You're going to have a wobble. You're going to go flying again. Like, it's a dance, isn't it? It's not just a plateau or whatever. Then I think we need to accept that this is the way it's going to be. It's not going to be constant growth.
It won't be, but there is a point where you look at it and you go, what is the club's ambitions? Like, what do we want to aim for the next 10 years?
Largely, the ambitions and what we are achieving are kind of irrelevant. They don't have to marry.
Ambition 1, don't die. Ambition 2, continue to help the community.
That's not a fun
Ambition
way.
3, grow enough to take the next step.
You're right, it's not a fun way, but that's how we continue and don't do a Yeovil or a Macclesfield or a Bury or a Sheffield Wednesday.
I look at it and I go,
Sorry, I couldn't. Right, look, we've got a hard out, so we're gonna kill it here. This could, otherwise it's just gonna go round and round and round. Nick's gonna be like, yeah, but, and we're gonna be like, no, but, and we're
I just want to see us spend maybe like 300 grand on someone who's really fancy, that then fucks off again after 18 months.
Right, anyway.
But gives us some joy.
Bruno Andrade, back to Woking.
Nick, shut up. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Whether you watch us on YouTube or whether you listen to us or, you're watching on Twitter on your phone. But whatever it is, thank you very much. You know where to find us because you already have. Other than that, there's only really one thing left to say. Up the Borough.
Woo!
That was good. I've unmuted the stream so that I know exactly when to end it on YouTube.
I'm really excited for Pat's preview.
I've had the last 3 minutes. Hang on. Yeah, I've had the last 3 minutes. Why is it still going?